All right, here we go. This is how we, I guess, do the review for Chapter 2 on linear equations and inequalities. So this is on 2.1 to 2.4, so it's the key. All right, so I'm going to walk you through this step by step, and you guys can watch this video when you're having some difficulty here. So in number 1, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to add 29 to both sides, and we get 7s equals 14, divide by 7, and you get s equals 2. For number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to get all the b's to one side, so I'm going to add 6b because it's smaller. I just like dealing with positive numbers. So that gives me 8b plus 11 equals 15. Then I'm going to subtract 11 from both sides, and that's going to give me 8b equals 4. So I divide by 8, and I'm not going to leave my answer as 4 over 8. I'm going to reduce that to 1/2. All right, number 2, first thing I might want to do is distribute on both sides. I'm going to distribute that 2 on the left and the -2 on the right. Don't forget to distribute the negative with it. So you have 2x plus 12 equals -2x plus 8. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 2x because I want to get all my x's to one side. That's going to give me 4x plus 12 equals 8. Subtract 12. That's going to give me 4x equals -4. Divide by 4. You get x equals -1. And if you don't believe it, you can always plug it back in and check it. Okay? So number 4, I'm going to distribute the 4, and I'm going to distribute the -10. So it's going to give me -12x plus 4 on the left, and on the right, I'm going to get -10x plus 40 minus 14x. Now, I have some x's on the right that need to be combined, so I'm not going to do anything with the left just now. I'm going to keep my work nice and neat. I'm going to get -24x plus 40 on the right-hand side. Now I'm going to move this -24x because it's smaller than the -12x, and that's so I end up dealing with a positive variable. So 12x plus 4 equals 40. Subtract that 4, and you're going to end up getting 12x equals 36. And hopefully you can see that the answer is going to be 3 once you divide both sides by 12. Now we're going to move into section 2.2 and 2.3 of the review. Okay, these are all of our like word problems, markup things across everything. So in this one, it says the department store sells a beach towel for 32 on sale. The beach towel sells for 24. What is the discount rate? Now, what I like to do is I like to think of myself as the store. Okay, so and the reason why it's going to be a discount is for the store, it costs, like I'm selling it for 32, I'm selling it for 24, so that's going to be a loss of $8. And that's why it's a discount. It would be a markup if it cost me 32 and then I'm going to mark it up to say 40. But in this case, we're going to do 32 because that's what it is to the store minus the 24, and that's $8. Now, this is considered the discount. Okay, we don't need it that for like this answer. Okay, I do have to get it in order to come up with the discount rate, but that's just not my answer. I have to keep going. Okay, now, this is where some of you have been getting confused. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your discount and you're going to divide it by what the towel originally cost. So like to the store, okay, not what the store is selling it for, but what it originally was. So 8 divided by 32 is 1/4. Okay, and hopefully you guys know how to create 1/4 to a percent. If you don't, it's 1 divided by 4 times 100. And we all know that as 25%. And that's going to be discount. So it's 25% discount. Now for the simple interest problem, okay? If you guys don't know the simple interest formula, you can always look it up, okay? But here we go. It says find the annual interest rate on a certificate of deposit that accumulated $400 in interest in 2 years on principal of $2,500. Now, the simple interest formula is A equals P times 1 plus RT. So essentially your amount equals your principal times the quantity of 1 plus your rate times the time. Now, we go ahead and fill in what we know. So it says find the annual interest rate. So we're looking for R on a certificate of deposit that accumulated $400 in interest. Okay, so if I originally put in $2,500 and now I accumulated $400, so that's going to be $2,900. Okay, equals my principal is $2,500 times 1 plus my rate, which is what I'm looking for, times my time, that's 2 years. Now here, I can go ahead and divide both sides by 2,500. Okay, so we have 2,900 divided by 2,500. Okay, and that's going to give me, and I like to deal in fractions, so 29 over 25. And that's going to equal 1 plus 2R. Now, I could have distributed that 25 into it, but I like dealing with it this way, but that's also a way you could have done that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So 29 over 25 minus 1, which would be 25 over 25, is 4 over 25. And that equals 2R. Divide by 2. And R is going to equal 4 over 50, or I could write 2 over 25. And 2 over 25 as a percent is 8%. All right, there's some other formulas out there, like I equals PRT. That would have done the same thing. I'll show you that. So I just used the simple interest formula just because it says it right there. But I equals PRT. So the interest was 400. My principal was 2,500. My rate, we don't know, and my time is 2. So this would have been 400 equals 5,000 times R divided by 5,000. And if you were listening, you would have heard me say just a second ago that it would have been, what, 4 over 50? If you look at this, there's your 4 over 50. And again, you would get 8%. All right, so a couple different ways you could do that problem. I just showed you 2. Those are the main ways. Work rate problem. You can complete a typing project in 5 hours, and your friend can complete it in 8 hours. It says what fractional part of the project can be accomplished by each person in 1 hour? And how long will it take both of you to complete the work or the project working together? So it says you can complete a typing project in 5 hours. Okay, so let's go with you. Okay, you can complete 1/5 of the project in an hour. Okay, and that's because it takes you 5 hours. If you want 1 hour, 1 divided by 5 is 1/5. And your friend, okay, your friend would do it in 1/8 of the project. Again, that's because it takes your friend 8 hours to do it. So in 1 hour, it'd be 1 divided by 8, which is 1/8. Now, how long will it take both of you to complete the project working together? This is a related rate problem. So these are tricky. All right, let's do this. So you kind of have to think distance equals rate times time. Okay, I know it's weird, but that's how you have to think of it as. Okay, your distance is one project. Okay, so for you, the project equals 1/5. That's your rate. Okay, 1/5 times your time. That's T. Okay, because we don't know how long you're going to end up working on it for this. Okay, so the one project times your time. Okay, that's where it comes from. All right, now your friend. I'm actually going to change the friend to blue. Think of it as D equals RT again. One project, they're going to do it in 1/8 times the time. Okay, because the reason why they're together is because, well, let's think about it. Their times would be the same. Okay, if you and a partner are working on it together, one partner wouldn't work on it longer. You'd both finish the project at the same time. Now, if you work on it together, okay, 1 equals, now this is where it gets weird, 1/5 plus 1/8 times your time. Now, let's go ahead and do that. We have 1/5 out of 8. Well, that would be 8 out of 40. Okay, I just multiplied it by 8 over 8. 1/8 would be 5 out of 40. Multiplied it by 5 over 5 times t. That's going to be 1 equals 13 over 40 times t. To get rid of that 13 over 40, you're going to multiply it by 40 over 13. And your time would be 40 over 13 hours, which would be approximately, okay, because it never works out evenly all the time. So 40 divided by 13 would be approximately 3 hours, okay? And let's say, I'm going to say 6 minutes, or 5 minutes, sorry. It's approximately 3 hours and 5 minutes. And I know that makes sense to me because if it would take me, who would work faster than probably my friend, 5 hours to do it, I know if I work with a friend, it should take me less, okay? And since my friend's a little bit slower, it's not going to take me half the time, so it should take me somewhere between 2.5 hours and 5 hours. And 3 hours and 5 minutes makes sense. Now, 2 cars start at the same time, or the same location, travel in the same direction at a speed of 30 miles per hour and 45 miles per hour. How much time must elapse before the 2 cars are 5 miles apart? Now, if you have, this is the start, we'll say it's a house, okay? A nice house here, okay? Look at that, roof, okay? All right. So we have that nice little house, and then 1 car. Okay, let's draw this one here. We'll make it a pickup truck. Okay, they start and go this way, and then the other one, okay, left at the same time. Make another pickup truck since I seem to be pretty good at drawing them. Okay, this one's going a little faster. So the green one was going at 30 miles per hour. And this one's going at 45 miles per hour. I want to know, when will this distance be 5? Yeah, look at these trucks. Amazing. Now, a couple different ways you could do this. First way, well, I could do, I could think about it, the distance, okay? Well, if it's based on the green green truck's gonna go X miles, okay, at 30 miles per hour, times T, which is the same for both of them. So it'd be X equals 30T. And then the blue car would be X plus 5 equals 45, all right, times T, okay? And that's kind of really confusing to me because I have like this X plus 5 and then all this stuff. All right, so the way I think of it is this way, all right? Well, we can equate this if this happens. Well, the blue car is going 15 miles per hour faster. So that's like, well, the green car not going anywhere and the blue car going 15 miles per hour. And when would that distance be equal to 5? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to subtract the 2 to get my 15 miles per hour. And that's going to say, hey, 5 equals 15 miles per hour times T. So when I divide by 15, I'm going to get T equals 1/3, which would be 20 minutes. Because 1/3 of an hour is 20 minutes. Now again, just to reiterate, I'm not writing it on the board. Actually, I will. Okay? If I were to do D equals RT, 1 for each of them, all right, I would have to view the green one. It went X miles. I don't know how far that is. X miles. All right, and it's going at 30 miles per hour. And the time is T. We don't know how long it's been going. Now for the blue one, it would have been going X plus 5 miles because it went 5 miles further equals 45 miles per hour times T. Now, where does this come from? Well, if I were to subtract the 2, that's where that equation would come from. You'd have to subtract those 2 equations, okay? And once you did that, you'd come up with that equation down there. So I like to skip all of that mumbo jumbo and just go straight to the red equation. A nursery wants to mix 2 types of lawn seed. Type 1 sells for $12 a pound, type 2 sells for $20 per pound. To obtain 100 pounds of a mixture at $14 per pound, how many pounds of each type of seed are needed? So this is like the mixture problem in your web assign. Now, we have seed 1. I'm going to call seed 1 S1, okay? And seed 2 S2. It's just going to make my life easier. Now, S1 plus S2 has to equal 100 pounds. How do I know that? It says it right there. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky and you have to think. S1 sells for $12 a pound. So 12 S1 plus, and C2 sells for $20 a pound. That's 20 S2. Now, how do I get this? Well, we're talking about money here. If I have 100 pounds and it needs to have an average cost of $14 a pound, that's 100 times 14. That's 1,400. Now, what I like to do here is rewrite that one. S1 equals 100 minus S2. I'm going to take that number, this stuff, I'm going to plug it in right there. So I get 12 times 100 minus S2 plus 20 S2 equals 1,400. Distribute that. 1200 minus 12s2 plus 20s2 equals 1400. Combine my like terms, that's 8s2 equals, subtract the 1200, 200, divide by 8, and you get, let's see, was that 25? So 25. All right, so we have 25 pounds of S2. All right, so over here, we have 25 pounds of it. Now, S1 has to be equal to 75 pounds of it, because I use that formula right here, circled in green. All right, 100 minus 25 is 75. Inequalities. Inequalities. Now, this is 2, 4. We need to solve it and then graph it. Remember, we can't use open or closed circles. We have to talk about notations. We need to use the square and curved brackets. Now, I can already tell you this one's going to get curved bracket because of that symbol in the middle, that greater than. So I'm going to subtract 5. Okay, I get 4x is greater than 20. Divide by 4, and x is greater than 5. So I like to do 5 in the middle, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I like to put my number in the middle. It's going to be a curved bracket. We're shading to the right because I'm eating the variable. For number 11, let's get all the n's to one side, so add n. 6 is less than 8n plus 4. Now, again, I know it's curved because there is no line under it. Subtract 4, and I have 2 is less than 8n. So divide by 8, and you're going to get 1/4 is less than n. Now, watch this, 1/4. Okay, this is 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, or 1 5/4. Not really worried about how you're doing your number line. I'm more worried about, are you able to solve it and graph it? So it's curved, and we're shading to the right. This guy, distribute that 4. -5 minus 5x is greater than 12 minus 4x. So here, I'm going to add the 5x to both sides. And I get -5 is greater than 12 plus x. Subtract 12. And now we have x is less than -17. So -17, and then, we could skip, so -15, -13, -11, -19, -21. Now, it's going to be a curved bracket, and we're shading to the left. Now, how do I know I'm shading to the left? Well, I'm not eating. Okay, it's very mathematical. I'm not eating the variable. Okay, it's like an alligator mouth. I'm not eating. Okay, I'm eating the numbers. That means the number has to be bigger. It means I'm shading to the left. 13 and 14. Now there's some more steps, interval notation and whatnot. This is an and inequality. That one's an or inequality. And for 13 or for 14. Okay, that's important. I know what it looks like. I know I should have 2 types of brackets or parentheses, and I should be shading in the middle. Now for this one is going to be a bracket, one's going to be a parenthesis. I don't know which one because I don't have it solved for it. So let me subtract 1. Okay, do it to the left, the right, and the middle. So I have -3 is less than -2n less than or equal to 6. Divide by -2. Uh-oh, danger, Wilbur Robinson. Watch out. Dividing by a negative, flip your sign. So this is going to be 3/2. Flip your sign. And flip your sign. -3. Now the -3. Okay, I'm going to put 0 in the middle. -3. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be somewhere over here. 3/2. Well, that's 1.5. So that's going to be like right here. Now, the 3/2, it's a curved bracket. Or curved parentheses. The -3 gets a square bracket, and I'm shading in between. Now, the interval notation. Okay. Now, if you guys remember the interval notation, okay, it's in our notes. It's in 2-4. That's just like taking those brackets and dropping it down. So it was -3, 3/2 per bracket. Set notation, okay, this is a little bit trickier, okay? So now we have to do, okay, this, we have to say -3, all right? And what was it? So it would be -3 is less than or equal to x, and x is less than 3/2. Okay, we're using that and symbol. Remember, and has the n, which is that upside down U. Okay, it's a little funky. It's annoying. I get it. All right, here, or inequality. So, or inequality, I'm going to solve each one independently. So I'm going to divide by subtract -2, and I have 3x. Okay, we have less than, it's going to be -12. Divide by 3, we have x is less than -4. Here, add 4, that's going to be a big old 0. Divide by 2, x is greater than 0. Now, here, okay, it's easy. We can jump down to set notation real quick. X is less than -4, or x is greater than 0. I just put that u in between that. The interval notation, well, let's draw our graph. So I'm going to put, say, 0 here. So that's -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. And then this will be 2. So curved bracket at 0, shading to the right because I'm eating the variable. Curved bracket at -4, shading to the left because I'm not eating the variable. Now, my interval notation, it's a little tricky with the or, so it's -∞, curved bracket, -4, curved bracket. Okay? And then here, okay, we have or. All right, or I could use this u, and then this is 0, positive infinity, curved bracket. All right, not a big fan of the set notation. Not going to be a ton of it on the test, but you do have to know a little bit. All right. Now, writing the compound inequality. All right, so let's look at this. Writing the compound inequality using set notation. Now we have 1 is less than x, and x is less than 10. Done. Here, this one, it's going to be x is less than or equal to -4, or x is greater than 9/2. Look at that. Not a whole lot to those, okay? And that's it. All right. Let me know what else I can do to help you guys out.